they're both downs or anything. Just do them, to be honest. I'm just desperate. Well, I'm not desperate for the guy, but just to make sure, because I'm a bit worried that I'm going to make a mess of this and end up losing. Now, it depends what they're going to do in terms of assists and blitzes and all that kind of thing. Okay, so they're going to blitz with this guy, I presume. It's probably going to be a 1 dice though. Well, not now. Incoming 2 dice blitz. Not yet. But we're 11v8 now again, so I've had the numbers advantage the whole game, so I've got away with it, but a bit of lax play. It's something I really need to work on, the offence, for most teams actually. I like just not having the, well, I don't like not having the ball, but I like being able to freely move my players, not be thinking, is my ball carrier covered, has he got a place to run, has he got someone to pass to? Because when you have to commit a good number of your team to look after your guy. Here we go. Is he going to survive? Yes, he survives, but he's surrounded by guys. So, see if I can block him free next turn, and it seems I moved him in the right place though, it's kept him busy. Right, blank, you keep yourself busy. And let's bring my runner a bit closer. I've got a few safeties just in case things go wrong and they get the ball. No, don't want to do that. I've still got a reroll, so I want to save that for somewhere I'll need it. Marcus, you're going to look after this downed guy. You're going to come up here. Got a free blitzer here. Yeah, so let's quickly browse and see if I've got any 2 dice blocks. No, we don't. Okay. Right, how do I want to do this? Oh, we do have a 2 dice. There we go. Makes things a bit better. Oh, another injury for this guy. No, it's a perm injury, it's a fractured hand. I don't really know what that, I can't remember what that is, if it's a miss next game or something. Still have a few guys in the way though. Oh shit. What I want to do here, put that guy there and then push this guy back, so he pushes him back and frees my guy up to some extent. But I've not got 1 dice to do that. 1 dice versus a lineman. Decent odds. Yeah, okay. 1 dice with a reroll. Oops. Move up, so I'll let my guy through. And I'm going to go for a score. Woo! Oops. Fair play to this guy, by the way. I mean, a lot of people, myself included, just randomly freak out and leave. And it's very easy to get angry in Blood Bowl, especially when you think of just like a faceless character on the other side and you just see your best players getting injured or whatever, and you're just thinking, oof, you bastard. But you know, this guy's obviously a fair-minded man, or woman as the case may be. Is the guy conceding? Just as I said that, is the guy going to concede? If he does, fair enough. But I haven't played this long, you'd be as well just seen it out. Well, I'm not sure, because I know that if you concede, does he try to get me to make a mistake? I know he is. Okay, I think he's conceding, fair enough. I'm just curious if how conceding works. I know that if it's 0-0 and you concede, then you get beat 2-0 and both MVPs go to you. But I'm not sure if I'm 2-0 up already, whether I'll get 2 more touchdowns assigned to me, or whether it'll just finish 2-0. The guy disconnected. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to talk to you for 4.5 minutes now, or I could skip this for you, which I probably will. I thought the guy was going... Well, fair enough, he said good game, but he should have just menu and concede, you know. But he's ripped his internet cable out, I think. Which means... it means I'll get both MVPs for the game. And possibly 2 more touchdowns, we'll soon see. I'm not sure, actually. Anyway, I'll skip this for you guys, because otherwise I'll just have to chat to you for 4 minutes and watch nothing. So, catch you in 4 minutes.
Did you know that the Pinkfoot Panthers went missing a few decades ago?
I heard about that, Bob. What exactly happened?
Well, they visited Darkside Cowboys for a friendly match and never returned.
Of course, Bob.
What? You can't just throw in the towel. I'm off to have a few words with that coach.
No, Bob, that's not your hammer. It's a goblet.
Who cares?
Sorry about that, guys. I don't know if you could hear me for that last little bit. I came back in at 30 seconds there left of the disconnection timer, and I think my mic was a bit weird. I couldn't hear myself. Usually I can hear myself slightly in the earphones, so I know that it's on and working. But I couldn't hear myself there, so I'm not entirely sure if you heard what I said there. So hopefully you did, and if not, I'll fill you in. But I'll fill you in the YouTube thingy, the YouTube comments box or whatever, because I don't want to repeat it in case you've, in case I did say it. Well, I got 100,000 gold pieces, which is pretty crazy, which I'll have. And I didn't get any more touchdowns awarded to me, but we got 2 MVPs, one blank the lineman, and one free the lineman. So did we get any levels? Yes, we got free leveling up. And actually, oops, sorry. Actually, just trying to think what. Oh, okay. Well, that makes it easy. We've got a double, so we're going to go guard. And Freya is now the central line person. Okay, just before I go, just have a little discussion with you about disconnections. First of all, I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say, you know, that's terrible, because I'm not going to lie, I have conceded, but the difference is I concede, you know, I usually, in fact I always will say, you know, good game, you know, I'm going to try a new team, or my team selection was bad, or my tactics were bad, or I made a mess of this early on, and, you know, or sometimes I've got a legitimate reason, you know, I've got to go and do this or that, well played, you know, and then I concede, and that gives a guy his full, gives a guy 2 MVPs and all that, and, you know, fair enough. So I'm just going to say, yeah, fair enough, I do concede matches from time to time, so I'm not going to be a hypocrite and be all negative about it, but I would say it is annoying when people disconnect by just disconnecting like that, you know. I mean, the guy said good game to me, so I thought he was going to concede. And I don't want to be suspicious, but the way he brought up the abandoned match screen twice, and, you know, while I'm out, you know, I could quite easily have mistakenly clicked on that and given him the game. I don't know if he meant to do that, or that's just a coincidence, but if he did, then that's obviously not cool. Yeah, let's just, so yeah, basically, I'll finish talking about that. Let's end on a positive note. That was my first game, playing Dark Elves online, and my first game for a live, well, not a live audience, but an audience of sorts. And yeah, I'd appreciate as much feedback as you can on basically how I played and what you agreed with and what you didn't. I mean, obviously I made a bit of a stupid mistake, which I explained with the half cage in the sideline, and But I don't think that offence was very exactly foolproof. I didn't really know what I was. Well, I knew what I had. I knew what I was doing. Yeah, I knew what I planned to do, but I just didn't really consider I didn't consider what he could do to stop me, and he nearly did. And quite easily. Another day could have got the ball loose and been down the pitch with it. I mean, luckily I was up in player, so I was able to get a numbers advantage and get the ball back, but it was a bit risky, to say the least. So yeah, if you can give me some feedback in the comments, say, had you done this differently, or yeah, I like how you did that, or whatever, just to make sure, because I've been reading a lot in the forums about each team before I play it. I read about in forums, and I read about the strategies, and I read the playbooks and things like that. So I do have a general idea of how Dark Elves should play, in theory. And obviously it's easy to say to read on... Obviously it's easier to read on forums and go, yes, yeah, I'm going to do that in my next game, but in the heat of combat or whatever, sometimes you make mistakes, or you try extra risky things that you shouldn't, or you do things out of order and make a mess of things or whatever. So yeah, any feedback would be appreciated. So yeah, this was Let's Play Blood Bowl Online, my first game as Dark Elves, and another will be coming soon. So thanks for watching, and happy Blood Bowling.